Alright, guys, welcome inside another drive home forecast, and I hope everybody is doing well today. And unfortunately, where I am, I have a little bit of an internet issue right now, so I do apologize if the internet and the screen is blurry or if I cannot talk correctly because of the internet issue. I do apologize about that. But I wanted to jump here and show you this. And as you can see, we have a 100-degree reading here in the city of Jasper. So definitely the hot spot today in the state of Alabama right now is 100 degrees in Jasper, Alabama. And as you can see across West Alabama, the majority of the storms right now are scattered, and there's not much really going on in and around the Tuscaloosa area or the Pickens County area, Greene County, or Hill County. However, you go a little bit further off to the north, up here towards the 278 corridor, and of course the I-22 corridor, and we've got a couple of showers and thunderstorms up this way as well. And I just noted that that my audio is doing a lot better right now, so that is a good thing. And like I said, I do want to apologize once again if there are any internet issues or audio or video issues on my end or y'all's end. I do apologize about that, but there is the current situation right now of where these storms are north of Carbon Hill and Jasper right now, and these storms are moving off to the south, and they probably will impact Jasper and Carbon Hill here within the next 15 to 30 minutes for your drive home. So if you're driving home in between Winfield and Dora, just note that there is a pretty nasty storm that is sitting up here south of Haleyville that is basically moving down towards the 13 corridor, the 5 corridor, and of course the I-22 corridor as well. So that is the situation that we have ongoing right now. And see, there is an outflow boundary from these storms that are moving into northern Fayette County and also into the Winfield area and the Sullivan area, and this could spark off more thunderstorms as well for places like Fayette and Berry, also down here towards the Millport area. And once this line of wind gets over your area, it is going to be rather breezy with winds of 30 to 40 miles per hour. And I can actually show you the base reflectivity, and then you can see the line of wind that's coming down. It just came through Winfield and is about to come through Carbon Hill right now. So once again, those are the problematic areas across northwest Alabama. Now let's move a little bit further off to the east and check on our friends down here close to the Birmingham metro area, and there's a couple of showers and storms stretching from the Alabaster and Calera area all the way over to the Sylacauga area over here from I-65 all the way over to the 280 corridor, and those storms do need to be watched if you're traveling home down the 280 corridor well south of Birmingham, and if you're traveling between Hoover and Clanton on 65, there's going to be some showers and thunderstorms to deal with up in that area as well. And also, I did want to mention that the National Weather Service in the National Weather Service in Birmingham has issued a flood advisory for Shelby County until 6 o'clock, and that is for those storms that are down there, closer to that area down there. So once again, there is a flood advisory for Shelby County until 6 o'clock for these storms down here in between Pelham Alabaster, and Calera, and basically along the 25 corridor between the Calera area and the Wilsonville area, because these storms are sitting over the same area. And so that's the situation that we've got going on in and around the Birmingham metro. All the rest of Jefferson County is rather dry at the moment. There's a couple of storms and showers up here towards Dora and Jasper. And then there's also some that are on the Jefferson-Blount County line, and those are weakening right now. So all is dry in the Birmingham metro. Now let's go a little bit further off to the east and check on our friends over here close to Gadsden and Anniston. And nothing is going on along the 20 corridor over here towards Anniston. And Anniston right now is checking in at 94. So it is going to be a rather hot one out there. Now, if you're traveling a little bit further off to the north, go back up here and check on our friends in northeast Alabama. And there's a lot of storms in progress right now. Basically, if you are southeast of Huntsville and in between Huntsville and Scottsboro, there are a couple of thunderstorms and showers down here along the 72 corridor. Also, if you're down here towards the New Hope and the Grant area, down here towards the Gunnersville and Albertville area, just note that there's going to be some areas of concern with rain falling. And then, of course, if you're over here in far northeast Alabama, in between Fort Payne and the Georgia line, just note that there's going to be some showers and some very heavy rainfall to deal with, and especially if you are traveling between Somerville and Fort Payne. And Somerville is over in the state of Georgia, and I can actually zoom in here and show you a little bit closer. If you're traveling along the 35 corridor into Cherokee County, just note that there's going to be a couple of showers and thunderstorms to deal with up there. And then of course, you've got this complex that's coming into Attala and Gadsden right now, and also down here towards the Steele, Alabama area. Just note that if you're traveling along the 278 corridor, it's going to be a wet drive home for you along the Steele area, the Attala area, and the Gadsden area this afternoon. So now let's take a look and go back over here into southwest Alabama, and then we will check on our friends in Montgomery here in just a minute. But as you can see, showers and thunderstorms are ongoing right now between York and Demopolis along the Highway 80 corridor, down here just north of Lisbon, and especially if you were down here in far southern Sumter County right now, and this is south of Livingston. Now, there is one shower that is over here east of Livingston, but it's basically sitting over the same area. However, if you were down here towards York and Cuba, down here in far southern Sumter County, just note that there's going to be a wet drive home for you, basically from the state line of Mississippi all the way over to the Demopolis area. A couple of showers and thunderstorms could impact your drive home this afternoon. Now let's take a look and go further off to the east and look at the capital city of Alabama, and look at Montgomery, Millbrook, and Wetumpka, also over here closer to the Prattville area. And not much is going on in and around the heart of Montgomery. Now, there are a couple of storms in between the Montgomery area and the Clanton area along the 65 corridor over here towards the Datesville, Alabama area. Also, there is a couple of showers that are just off to the northeast of the 82 corridor along the Billingsley area up here in the north of the Montgomery area. And then, of course, over here along Highway 80, there is a shower that's sitting in between the Valley Grande area and the Selma area. So if you're traveling home along the 80 corridor between Autauguaville and Selma, your drive is going to be dry. However, if you're traveling just north of Selma along 80 going home, and especially if you're going west, just note that there's going to be a couple of showers and thunderstorms to deal with on your drive home. But all in all, Montgomery is checking in right now at 93 degrees. It is a scorcher out there. Now for our friends over here towards the Auburn, Opelika, and Tuskegee area, there is one shower that has popped up along the 85 corridor east of the Auburn University. And so this is going to be a wet drive home for you, especially if you are traveling east and northeast out of Auburn along the 85 corridor going towards the Opelika area, also towards the Five Points area and Indian Hills, University Estates, and places like that down here in the Auburn area. It is going to be a rather wet drive home for you in and around the Auburn, Opelika area tonight. Now, for the Columbus, Georgia, and Phoenix City, Alabama area, there are a couple of storms south of Columbus, Georgia. Those look to be just sitting over the same area, so those will not be impacting you at all. Now let's go a little bit further off to the south and check on our friends in Greenville, Troy, Eufaula, Dothan, Enterprise, and Andalusia in far southeast Alabama. And Troy is hot at 95 degrees, but all is dry down there. There's also nothing going on in and around Andalusia, Enterprise, Midland City, Ozark, or Dothan right now. So just note it's going to be a hot but boring drive home for you along the 84 corridor down here, because nothing is going on the radar, and that is good. That's a good thing. Also down here towards the Geneva, Alabama area, nothing is going on. Over here towards the Andalusia and the Op area, nothing is on radar right now, so it's going to be a dry drive home for you. And let's go on over here towards the Mobile, Alabama area. And as you can see, Greenville, Alabama is checking in at a scorcher. Evergreen, Alabama is checking in currently at 96 degrees. It is warm out there. And one final stop that we're going to check right now is going to be around the Mobile and the Baldwin County areas. And as of right now, all is dry down in the Montgomery area, and of course the Mobile, Saraland, and the Bay Minette area for your drive home in and around the Mobile area. And if you have people along the Alabama Gulf Coast, you can see that Gulf Shores International, or the Gulf Shores Airport, is checking in right now at 90 degrees. So even the coastline of Alabama is not escaping the heat today. It is a scorcher out there, and it's going to be even hotter tomorrow and on Wednesday as well. So just note that if you are going to be outside, make sure that you guys take it extra easy outside, because these weather conditions and this heat is nothing to play around with. And one more time, the Jasper area is coming in at 100 degrees right now, and I'm sure the heat index is on up there as well. Now, there's other storms in progress right now, and especially if you are traveling out of Meridian, Mississippi, coming into Alabama over here towards the York and the Cuba area, that is your most problematic area right now on the radar. It's going to be down here in far southern Sumter County. And that's pretty much all that we've got to deal with, other than this batch of storms up here north of Jasper and Carbon Hill. And this is basically near the Smith Lake area, and also that complex over here next to the Good Hope and Haleyville area, also near the Double Springs area. So if you are traveling along the 278 corridor, basically from Haleyville all the way over to Coleman, just note that there's going to be a rather wet drive home for you guys today, as we're going to see a lot of heavy rain, a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, and maybe even some rumbles of thunder, and of course heavy wind. And as you can see that line of wind now, the outflow boundary has come on through Winfield, and now it's coming into Carbon Hill and Jasper has cooled off now to 99 degrees, but it's still rather hot out there for your drive home there in central Alabama. So guys, I wanted to jump on here and do this, and like I said, once again, I do apologize if there were any audio issues or video issues. My internet is a little shaky right now. Hopefully I can get that fixed by the time we do another one tomorrow. But guys, once again, tomorrow is going to be an absolute scorcher. So I want you guys to please take it extra easy out there. And if you have to do any outdoor activities, make sure you do them early in the morning, because even in the afternoon, it is not going to be rather cool to do them after work. So make sure if you're going to get out there and cut the grass, or if you're going to be on the job site, make sure that you do the majority of it early in the morning so that you can actually come in and take frequent breaks in the afternoon, because this is going to be a scorcher for you guys tomorrow here in the state of Alabama. However, I do think that the hottest weather is going to stay off to our west, as places over there in Mississippi could see heat indices as high as 110. I don't think we're going to get that far here in Alabama. I don't think we're going to get that hot. I think our heat indices, the maximum, are going to be 105 to 106. But if you if you do have work over in the state of Mississippi tomorrow or through the remainder of the week, just note that places over in Mississippi could see heat indices as high as 110, and that is basically going to be for a good portion of the state of Mississippi. So if you're traveling or if you're working over in the state of Mississippi, just note that heat indices of 110 is getting on up there into the dangerous level there in the state of Mississippi. Guys, I hope that you have a great rest of your evening, great day tomorrow, and I will be right back here on social media doing another drive home forecast for you guys tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock right here on social media. Have a great evening, and as always, from all of us here, God bless. All right, guys, it is coming up on 4:25 on a Monday afternoon, and I hope everybody is doing well on this Monday afternoon. And unfortunately, for a good portion of the state of Mississippi, it is hot, and we are dealing with dangerous heat index levels here in the great state of Mississippi. And as you can see right there, in the Delta of Mississippi, we currently have a temperature of 96 degrees, and I'm almost certain that the heat indices over in the Delta of Mississippi are close to 106 to 110, and that is going to be the case for a good remainder of the week. But as you can see, there are a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms out there to give you some brief relief from the heat, and especially if you are north of the Highway 82 corridor. Basically, if you were up here in between Oxford and Kosciuszko, Mississippi, you're going to have a lot of wet drive home for you guys today. Most of central Mississippi is dry at the moment, and we will start our coverage of the drive home forecast up here towards the Memphis metro area. And as you can see, there are a couple of showers in and around the Memphis area, and this is basically west of the Mississippi River there in Memphis. So if you were over here towards the Marion area or the Memphis area in the downtown area and points off to the west, there is going to be some wet drive home for you. And these storms and showers are moving off to the south. So don't be surprised if you have a wet drive home down here towards the Memphis airport, South Haven, Horn Lake, or Olive Branch, Mississippi, as this whole area is slowly drifting off to the south towards the Mississippi River and then eventually into the state of Mississippi. Now, if you are traveling over here towards the 72 corridor, there could be a couple of showers that you have to deal with over here in far northern Mississippi, north of the Ashland community. And then over here towards the Corinth, Mississippi area, there is a decaying line of showers and thunderstorms. So just note, if you're traveling along the 72 corridor between Corinth and Iuka, Mississippi, there could be a couple of sprinkles and wet roadways as this shower and thunderstorm has just dissipated over the Corinth, Mississippi area. Now let's go a little bit further off to the south, and in between the Baldwin, Guntown, and Saltillo, Mississippi area, there is a thunderstorm along the 45 corridor south of Boonville, Mississippi, and this should move towards the Tupelo area if it does not dissipate. So there could be a wet drive home for you guys in the Tupelo, Saltillo, Guntown, and the Baldwin, Mississippi area, and especially if you are traveling along the 45 corridor north. Now, if you're traveling along the 22 corridor towards the New Albany, Mississippi area, or if you're traveling towards the Fulton, Mississippi area, it looks like that it's going to be a dry drive home for you. It's just going to affect the areas north of Tupelo along the 45 corridor, and especially between Saltillo and Baldwin, Mississippi. Now, there's also a thunderstorm and a complex of thunderstorms over here just off to the west of Pontotoc, Mississippi, along the 278 corridor in between Oxford and Tupelo. So if you are driving home towards the 278 corridor, just note towards the Thaxton, Mississippi area, there is a couple of thunderstorms that you're going to have to deal with over in that area. Also along the 6 corridor over here, just close to the Oxford, Mississippi area, and the Oxford area, home to the Ole Miss Landshark Rebel Black Bears. You are checking in right now at 93 degrees with a dew point of 73, so it is extremely muggy and extremely nasty feeling outside right now. Now let's go a little bit further off to the south and check on our friends near the Grenada and Amory, Mississippi area. And as you can see, there's a lot of storms that are in between Pontotoc and Grenada, Mississippi right now, and especially near the Houston, Mississippi area, also the Water Valley, Mississippi area, and these are slowly drifting off to the south. And so if you're traveling along the 15 corridor going home, or if you're traveling over here towards the 8 corridor, just note that it's going to be a wet drive home for you. It could also be wet for you down here towards the Aberdeen, the West Point, and the Columbus area because of this outflow boundary that is drifting off to the south here. And this outflow boundary could spark more thunderstorms down in this area right here as it continues to push on off to the south. So it could be a wet drive home for you along the 82 corridor, just simply because there is an outflow boundary that is shifting south, and it could form more showers and thunderstorms in your location. Now, the Columbus, Mississippi radar site is picking up that the air temperature right now is 95 degrees in the city of or in just north of the city of Columbus right now. So it is a scorcher out there along the Highway 82 corridor. And if you are over here towards the Winona or the Eupora, Mississippi area, over here a little bit further off to the west, along the 82 corridor, there could be a couple of showers and thunderstorms to deal with on your drive home, and especially around the Eupora, Mississippi area. There are a couple of showers in and around that city this afternoon. Now let's go a little bit further off to the west and check on our friends between Winona and Vaden, Mississippi, along the 55 corridor. And there's also a couple of showers and thunderstorms over that area right now as well. And then, of course, there's also a complex of storms down here around the Louisville, Mississippi area. So if you're traveling along the 25 corridor in between Starkville and the Louisville, Mississippi area, just note that if you're traveling a little bit off to the east of Louisville, that there are a couple of showers and thunderstorms to worry about in your area. However, Kosciuszko looks to be dry for your drive home. Now let's go a little bit further off to the south and check on our friends near Carthage and Philadelphia, Mississippi. And as you can see, there's not much going on around the Carthage area or the Philadelphia area. So central Mississippi is baking right now. However, you guys are not seeing the scattered showers and thunderstorms like they are a little bit further off to the north. So Carthage and Philadelphia will be dry for your drive home. Now let's move a little bit further off to the south and check on our friends near the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. Now, Ridgeland and Canton, Mississippi area north of Jackson is going to be dry. However, I do note that there has been a little shower and storm that has popped up over here west of Jackson, and this is in between Jackson and Clinton, Mississippi, especially if you're traveling along the I-20 corridor going towards the west out of Jackson. Just note that there is a couple of showers and thunderstorms to deal with, and I can actually zoom in here and show you where exactly this is raining right now in the Jackson metro area. And this is over here towards the Merritt Health Center along the Greenway Drive and the Van Winkle, Mississippi area. And this is just west of downtown Jackson right now. And remember, Jackson does flood a lot, so just be extra careful if you're driving in and around the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. There's also a couple of showers over here towards the Pearl, Mississippi area and the Country Place, Mississippi area south of the Flowood, Mississippi area near the Jackson airport. And currently Jackson is checking in at 95 degrees right now with a dew point of 74 degrees. So it is hot out there for sure. So once again, if you are west of Jackson, there is a couple of showers that are developing over there, so take it extra easy if you're traveling west along the 20 corridor in between Jackson and Vicksburg. All is dry right now in Vicksburg. However, there is one little shower north of Vicksburg, but it looks like it is dying out right now. But once again, Vicksburg, you are baking right now as you currently have a temperature of 99 degrees over there just west of Vicksburg. So it is no doubt scorching heat over in the delta of Mississippi right now. Now let's go a little bit further off to the south and check on our friends near Natchez, Mississippi along the 61 corridor and of course the 84 corridor, and the majority of the rain has left or is not impacting the Natchez, Mississippi area, so that is good news right now. All is dry around Natchez. Now, if you're traveling a little bit further off to the east, over here towards the Bude, Mississippi area, just note that there are showers around your area right now, and also a couple of showers have popped up around the Brookhaven, Mississippi area along the 55 corridor and along the Highway 84 corridor, and also near the Monticello, Mississippi area. Now, let's go a little bit further off to the east and check on our friends down here in the Pine Belt area of Mississippi, and unfortunately, along the Highway 82-84 corridor in between Prentice, Collins, and Laurel, there are showers and thunderstorms that are basically sitting and paralleling the 84 corridor. So if you're traveling west out of Laurel, going towards the Collins, Mississippi area, there's going to be a wet drive home for you guys down here in the Pine Belt area of Mississippi. And unfortunately, check this out, there are showers and thunderstorms that we are dealing with right now in the city of Hattiesburg right now, and unfortunately it looks like it is going to be a wet drive home for you. I can actually zoom in and show you where it is actually raining in the city of Hattiesburg. If you were up here towards the Glendale area or towards the Petal area or towards the West Hattiesburg area, this is where it is dry. It is raining right now over here west of the downtown Hattiesburg area, and this would be really close to the campus of Southern Miss University right there over Southern Miss. You can see where that is right now, and moderate rain is falling right now, and this is going on off towards the west. So these storms are drifting a little bit off to the west. So just note that if you are over here towards the West Hattiesburg area, this could also impact you on your drive home, and it's going to be a wet drive home along the 98 corridor in the Hattiesburg, Mississippi area, unfortunately, and also a little bit further off to the south of Hattiesburg, down here at the intersection of 59 and the 98 corridor, south of the Mars Hill area. This is going to be another problematic area if you're traveling south out of Hattiesburg, going down towards the coast of Mississippi. Now let's take one more tour and go down here towards the coastline of Mississippi, and all is dry along the Highway 10 corridor or the I-10 corridor, or along the 90 corridor along the beautiful beaches there of the coastline of Mississippi, past Christiana, all the way up to Biloxi, and then over to Pascagoula is dry right now for your drive home. And one more stop, I did want to also mention that over here south of Macomb along the 98 corridor near Tylertown, Mississippi, there could be a couple of showers and thunderstorms to deal with you on your way home near the Macomb and the Tylertown, Mississippi area. Guys, I hope that you have a great rest of your evening. Please be safe driving home with all of these showers and thunderstorms out there right now. I intend to do another drive home forecast for you guys this time tomorrow right here on social media. Have a great Tuesday. See you guys right back here at 4:25 tomorrow afternoon for another drive home forecast. God bless.